I moved here. It starts with a feeling. A digital hum you can't quite place. But what happens when that signal has a source? The house was number 1138. A perfect two-story colonial, painted a sterile shade of eggshell white. The lawn was always immaculate, the hedges trimmed with geometric precision. But in the 3 months I lived next door, I never saw a soul. No lights in the windows at night, no trash cans on the curb for pickup, just silence. A heavy, oppressive silence that felt louder than any party. The first anomaly wasn't visual, it was a sound. A low-frequency hum, almost subliminal. I could only hear it late at night, when the world was asleep. It felt like it was vibrating in my teeth, a constant, low-level thrumming from next door. This is the first layer, a physical disturbance. The sign that something inside that house is consuming a massive amount of power. I work in IT, so my curiosity is technical. One night, a storm knocked out our power. The whole street went dark, except for the hum. It didn't stop. It felt louder, more present in the absolute silence. That's when I checked the Wi-Fi networks on my phone. There were the usual ones, Smith Family 5G, Linksys, Guest, and then there was another. It had full bars. The signal was so strong, it felt like it was originating from inside my own skull. The network name, the SSID, wasn't a name at all. It was a single black skull emoji. Just that, a skull. No password protection. It was an open network, an invitation. An open network with that kind of signal strength isn't an accident. It's a statement. It's a trap. Against my better judgment, I tried to connect. The second I tapped it, my phone didn't just fail to connect. It froze. The screen went black for a full 10 seconds, then rebooted. When it came back on, the skull network was gone. It was gone for 3 days. The hum from the house seemed to lessen too. I started to think I'd imagined it, that it was just a weird glitch. But then, on the 4th night, it came back. This time, the SSID was different. It was a string of text. "We see you." My blood ran cold. It wasn't a broadcast anymore. That was a message. I didn't try to connect. I just stared at it, the words glowing on my screen in the dark of my bedroom. The hum from next door returned, louder than ever. "The protocol has been breached. The observer is now the observed." This is a classic intimidation tactic in the digital underworld. I became obsessed. I bought a high-gain directional antenna and a network analyzer. I wasn't going to connect, but I was going to listen. I pointed the antenna at 1138 and ran a packet sniffer. The amount of data flowing from that house, it was staggering. I did some research on obscure forums and cybersecurity subreddits. I found theories about so-called blind spots, locations alleged to have immense, untraceable data output. According to these rumors, they're used for broadcasting sensitive content that needs to remain anonymous, a kind of digital ghost. A blind spot isn't just about hiding, it's about broadcasting without a source. The signal exists, the content is viewed, but the point of origin is a ghost. Deliveries started happening, always between 3 and 4 a.m. Unmarked white vans would pull up, silent as ghosts. Men dressed in simple black uniforms, no logos, would carry heavy-looking cases into the house. They never spoke, moving with a chilling efficiency. One night, I used a parabolic microphone, aiming it at the front door as they were unloading. I couldn't make out voices, just the clank of metal, the whir of electronics, and something else. A heavy, dragging sound like dead weight being pulled across the floor. My own devices began to act strangely. My smart speaker would activate on its own, its light ring glowing silently in the dark. My laptop's webcam indicator would flash for a split second. I started putting tape over every camera I owned. The fear was becoming unbearable, but the curiosity was worse. I bought a drone, a small one, quiet. I waited for another cloudy, moonless night. I had to see inside. I had to know what was generating that heat, that data, that hum. There was one window on the side of the house that wasn't completely blacked out. It looked like the blackout material had peeled away slightly in one corner. It was my only chance. I maneuvered the drone closer, my hands shaking. The hum was audible even through the drone's microphone. The air itself seemed to crackle. I angled the camera just right, peering through the tiny gap. He's crossing the threshold, from passive observation to active intrusion. This is the point of no return. It wasn't a bedroom, it was a server room. Racks and racks of black servers, blinking with thousands of tiny red and green lights. Thick bundles of black cables snaked across the floor like veins. The heat from the room was fogging the drone's lens. But in the center of the room, there was a cleared space. And in that space was a single bare metal chair. It was bolted to the floor. Above it, aimed down, was not a light fixture, but a cluster of high-definition cameras, lenses like dead, black eyes. The floor around the chair was noticeably discolored, as if from heavy use or some kind of spill. A wave of unease washed over me. This wasn't just a server farm. It was a studio, a stage. And then, something moved in the corner of the room. The system has an administrator, a physical presence. The ghost in the machine is real. A figure, tall and gaunt, stepped into the faint light of the server LEDs. They were wearing a simple black boiler suit and a white, featureless mask. No eyes, no mouth. Just a smooth, blank plate of white plastic. It slowly turned its head, as if it could hear the drone's propellers. Then the Wi-Fi network name on my phone, which was monitoring the signal, changed again. The new SSID was the model number of my drone. It knew exactly what I was. Before I could react, my drone's controls went dead. It just hovered there, helpless. The figure raised a hand and pointed at the drone. On my controller's screen, a single line of text appeared. Showtime. Then the video feed cut out. They've hijacked his device. They've not only identified the intrusion, they've turned his own tool against him. I ran to my back door, my heart hammering. I could hear a faint buzzing sound outside. My drone. It was flying back, but not to me. It was hovering right in front of my kitchen window, its camera aimed inside. At me. My phone buzzed. A text message. From an unknown number. It contained only a single character. The skull emoji. Then, my front doorbell rang. A long, sustained, unending ring. I didn't answer it. I hid in my basement, disconnected my router, and powered off my phone. The doorbell rang for an hour straight, a single, monotonous electronic scream. When it finally stopped, the silence was worse. He's cut himself off from the grid, a logical step. But the threat is no longer purely digital. The next morning, I looked outside. My drone was sitting on my front porch, placed neatly in the center of the doormat. There was a small black USB stick taped to it. I know I shouldn't have. Every rational part of my brain screamed not to, but I had to know. I used an old, air-gapped laptop, one not connected to any network, and I plugged it in. There was only one file on it. Viewer.exe. I clicked it. It wasn't a video file. It was a program. A window opened, showing a grainy black and white video feed. They've given him a key, an invitation to the broadcast. This is the final stage of the trap. The feed was from one of the cameras in that room, the one pointed at the metal chair. The timestamp in the corner was current. This was live. The room was empty. For about 10 minutes, nothing happened. Just the hum of the servers. Then, a chat window opened up next to the video feed. The usernames were just strings of numbers. The messages were scrolling fast, a torrent of unreadable languages and disturbing symbols. The masked figure walked into the frame. They weren't carrying a case or equipment. They were guiding another individual, whose movements seemed restricted and their face was obscured. They were compelled to sit in the metal chair. I was about to slam the laptop shut to destroy it, when the masked figure turned and looked directly into the camera. They held up a piece of paper. On it, in crude black marker, was my name. My full name. The broadcast wasn't for the dark web anymore. The audience was now just one person. Then another piece of paper. It said, "Join us." And a final one. "The door is open." I looked up from my laptop towards my front door. It was slightly ajar. I know I had locked it. I know I had. I didn't pack a bag. I just grabbed my phone and my car keys. I ran out the back door, vaulted the fence, and just kept running. I didn't stop until the sun came up and the suburban streets had turned into a highway. I never went back. I called the police from a burner phone 3 states away. I told them everything. They sent a car to my house and to 1138. They found nothing. Both houses were empty, spotless, as if no one had ever lived there. There's no record of me ever living there. The deed is in a different name. My neighbors, the Smiths, the ones with the Smith family 5G network. The police could find no record of them either. The entire street, it seems, was a stage. This raises a disturbing question. Could a digital blind spot require a physical one? Was this entire neighborhood potentially fabricated just to provide a buffer zone? The scale of such an operation is unimaginable. All I have left is the footage from my phone, the screen recordings. Most of it is corrupted. The data seems to decay over time, as if the signal that created it is actively trying to erase itself. It's unstable. Sometimes, late at night, I'll scan for Wi-Fi networks. It's a habit I can't break, and every now and then, for just a second, I'll see it. A network with full bars, no matter where I am. Just a single black skull. It's not looking for a new blind spot. It found one. Me. I'm the ghost now. I'm the one who's broadcasting. A burst of harsh digital static. The sound of the server hum intensifies, then abruptly corrupts into a painful, high-frequency data shriek before cutting out.